What's been happening at Maitland Local Court this week? There were about 130 people listed to appear, but there's no public information about any of this week's court activities. Meaning I can't find any police media releases or newspaper stories. Maybe no one was police bail refused this week. Maybe there was no police pursuits. No one was assaulted. No drug-related crimes. Maybe the court didn't sentence anyone this week. Therefore, there's no need for us to hear about the case to be deterred. If all of those were true, well, that's a story in itself. Well done, Maitland. Or perhaps the journalists are resting up and getting ready for next week's cases. I noticed there's particular types of crimes that the media will usually report on. Anything to do with footballers. The media usually report on serious indictable offences such as murder and manslaughter. Organised crime is another example. Whereas I prefer to observe the petty, disorganised crimes of Maitland, which make up the majority of cases and happen every week. However, next week, there's supposed to be the first mention of a case that relates to a situation at a motorcycle clubhouse here in Maitland back in July 2025. The story, I think, was first reported by two journalists. One is a Hunter Valley-based journalist and the other is more like Sydney-based, and they do more underworld-type crime stories. One of our more local papers did a story soon after, which included a reference to the court case. By the way, that story doesn't say who the journalist was who wrote the story. Can someone tell me why they don't give the author in some of these newspaper stories? Anyways, I also can't find any police media releases about that case. And yes, the police were involved because there was a lot of sirens back in July. So will the media be here at Maitland Local Court to follow the case? And if they do, will they report on the other cases happening on that day? Because I would argue the other cases are likely to be more relevant to the majority of us in the community. Yes, alleged organised crime type cases are important to hear about, but so are the assaults, shoplifting, drink driving, etc. that are happening every day in Maitland.